Some people don't just adapt, they win, thrive, and help others to do the same. This speaker is one of such people. A dynamic entrepreneur and business strategist, his journey from Nigeria to Canada is a masterclass in resilience, reinvention, and results. Since moving to Canada in 2016, Wale has built 3 successful businesses, including Grey Matlock Bakery, now supplying traditional African bread to major retailers like No Frills and Real Canadian Superstore. Through Rubik Consulting, he empowers startups to scale, drawing from his diverse background, from running a large poultry farm in Nigeria to roles at MTN, GT Bank, and Rogers. More than an entrepreneur, he is a passionate mentor and advocate for Black-owned and immigrant-led businesses. We welcome a leader who's not just building businesses, he's building bridges. Let's celebrate the unstoppable Wale Rabiu.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome everybody to today's event, and I thank the organizers. I thank Pastor Rabiu and the rest of the team. My name is Wale Rabiu. I'm happy to be here again to share my story, our story, and our business story with everybody. I was actually excited looking at that video because I rarely see things or read things about myself. So that's why I had to turn back and look at it. Thank you for whoever did that job. Thank you. Okay, so how do we start? Being here today for me was something I looked forward to the moment I was called that I will be speaking here. So it's something that I wouldn't take for granted again. It's something that I thank the organizers for bringing me to be on this stage and sharing the stage with wonderful speakers that I've met a couple of times too. I've met them before, and my friend is there too. So we're going to start by talking about the theme of the event. So Find Your Voice 2025, that's a program that brought us here, and the theme is Thriving and Winning. And my keynote address is going to be about Rooted to Rise, Growth, Entrepreneurship, and Legacy Beyond Borders. Okay, let's start with Rooted to Rise. For me, it's one thing that I've actually believed in, that we all left the comfort of Nigeria, any part of Nigeria that we left, we came to Canada. And we should never forget, and I'm trying to explain the reason for Rooted to Rise, we should never forget where we all came from. Because there's an adage in Yoruba that says, the river that forgets its source will dry up eventually. So that's actually what this means. Rooted to rise. We must solidify our base so that we can grow tall. And this can be in wherever we find ourselves, whether in politics, in business life, our career in the corporate world. We must solidify our base. Imagine a very strong tree that is going to withstand the strongest wind. The roots must be very, very solid. So that's the reason. It's important for us because we're immigrants. We've left our country back some thousands of kilometers, and we're here in Canada, or it could be any part of the world that people are watching this program. So, Rooted to Rise. I just want to explain that straight. Then growth, entrepreneurship, legacy, beyond borders. Next slide. Okay. Now, why do I have to be the one to talk about this? I'm just going to be very brief by myself, just in case some people have not heard about Wale Rabiu or not heard about the business or know me. So, my name is Wale Rabiu. I'm the president of the Grey Matlock Bakery, and based on what the MC said, we sell bread. We sell bread. So that's the summary of what we do. Apart from selling bread, what else do I do? I'm a business mentor. I work with Job University and Black Entrepreneurship Alliance as a business mentor. And what do I do there is just to talk to people starting up businesses to help them grow their business, because I think I was identified by the two organizations based on what we've been able to do with our Green Mallow Bakery to talk to businesses. And I want us all, as Nigerians, to take advantage of this, because I've been on the program for 3 years, meaning I've been helping people to start and grow their businesses for 3 years. Maybe I've come across just 2 Nigerians in the whole of the co-op in the last 3 years. Just 2 Nigerians. I can imagine the number of founders that come on the program every year. We've started another one now. It runs between May and September every year. There's even no Nigerian right now at the moment. So my point is, let's all take advantage of such programs. Go out, check York University, they call it White Space Program, Food Accelerator Program, and Black Entrepreneurship Alliance. They provide free service beyond mentoring from other business captain of the industries. Let me use that word, because they have about 15 mentors in all, and they've helped people to grow their businesses. So let's take advantage of that. Then the last thing is, okay, I have another business which is Ruby Consulting, and that's the business consulting arm of what I do. And that explains everything about me. Now let's go to the business, Green Mallow Bakery. Now this is Green Mallow Bakery. And I believe this is one of the reasons why I was invited to talk about, to be a speaker here, because of what the bakery has been able to do. Now, when we started in 2018, I arrived in Canada in 2016 with my family, June 2016. Although I arrived earlier, I came in March, I went back, we all came back in June together. So we started the business in 2018 in Brampton. So we are attached to Brampton as the head of, personally, I have emotional attachment to the city of Brampton because that's where all of these things started from. So I always call that place the head office. Although if you go to the other location in Mississauga, you're probably going to say that, no, why don't you call this place your head office? No, that's where we call our factory, because the state-of-the-art factory, that's where we do more than 90% of our production today, and we supply it. How has the business evolved in the last 7 years? We started out from a space of 850 square foot, which is less than half of, or just about half of this stage, That's how we started in 2018. But today, we can see how we've been able to grow across Canada. We have 7 franchise locations operating: Waterloo, Windsor, Oshawa, Ottawa, Calgary, New Brunswick, Saskatoon. And we're going to be in the US in the next couple of weeks. Already, we have started in New Jersey, but we will launch officially very soon. So, the journey that started 7 years ago, this is where we are today. And we have not even gotten to anywhere, but this is all about the bakery. This is all you need to know now about the bakery. This is the spread, the footprint across. But how do we get the bread across to all Canadians? We sell it in over 600 supermarkets, which comprise of Real Canadian Superstore, No Frills. Okay, Loblaw is the biggest chain of supermarket in Canada. So we signed a deal with Loblaws, and we can sell into 13 of their supermarkets across Canada. One of them is No Frills, Real Canadian Superstore, Zed, Profigo. Some of these supermarkets are stronger in different parts of Canada. Then recently we got with Sobeys owns Freshco. So if you go to Freshco, you can find our product there too. Then a couple of weeks ago, we got a call from Food Basics that we've been seeing your bread around. We want you to bring it to our store too. So in the next couple of days or weeks, you'll be seeing us in Food Basics. Thank you. Now, all of this is not by any special gift or by any special ability. For us, we own everything to the grace of God, And I was talking to Pastor Goodman just before we step on the stage, and I said something like, how it all started, how did it all start, and how did it, okay, I was talking to my pastor, we were thinking of starting a bakery. We went to Nigeria. I was thinking of going to Nigeria to meet someone to teach me the art. I didn't know anything about bread, puff. I didn't even know the process of frying a puff, Then I spoke with a friend of mine. He said, oh, come, I'll teach you everything. Then my pastor from Lagos came to Canada. He didn't have to call me that I was around. I didn't have to go and sit in the hotel. I just said, okay, let me go and see my pastor. And that's part of connecting to our roots. It's part of connecting to our roots, And I went to see him, and I mentioned to him, of course, he wanted to know how you guys settling down in Canada. And I told him, well, work is good. I think I was working in Rogers then. I was still at Rogers. Work is good, everything is fine, but we're trying to set up a business. What business? But I'm not sure, it's bread, it's a bakery. Go and talk to sister. He mentioned her name. I won't say her name, so that people don't go and talk to her again. He just mentioned, go and talk to sister, that's what she does. I said, I thought she sells just donuts. I said, no, they have a big bakery in Lagos. Go and talk to her. Well, I got to Lagos. I didn't call her. I think I called her I was coming to Lagos. He said, when you arrive, let me know. I called my friend, because I was much more comfortable to talk to my very old friend, But my friend didn't pick my call. So I was stuck. I just remember, Pastor Victor said I should go and talk to someone. And I went there, and she gave me everything. It was as if God went ahead of me, and which was actually what happened. She gave me everything without asking for anything. And that's what gave rise to all of this today. So anytime I talk, please let me give a round of applause to her, wherever she is today. Maybe she's watching. She did not collect anything from me, And that's why we're here today. So that is it about the business. So when I talk about the theme of my topic today, I was trying to lay a foundation so that you see how we've been able to grow our business and why we can come here today to talk to people that are interested in entrepreneurship in Canada. Yeah, so the purpose of this to definitely share our story, and one of the things I want to talk about really is when we arrive in this part of the world from wherever we came from, we should not look at just survival. God wants us to survive. To go beyond survival. And we've all had our own fair share of trying to survive when we move into a foreign country. And one of it was, what did I do? I worked in warehouse before. One of the reasons why I stopped working in that warehouse was when one boy asked me to go and sweep. I actually swept that night. I swept the floor, and I just thought, no, this is not what God wants me to do. And I went back home. I said, no, I'm not doing this again. And then I got my job at Rogers. We started the business. So the point is, as immigrants, we should always look beyond wanting to survive. When you move into a new environment, definitely there's a need to want to survive. But don't ever settle into that survival mode that I'm surviving, we're surviving. How are you doing? You're surviving. No. We should think beyond surviving, And while we're trying to survive, we should not forget that at the end of the day, we can actually start. And for me, I'll talk about what I know. Other speakers are coming to talk about what they know. And for me, it's about entrepreneurship. How do you leave a lasting legacy when you leave your country to another country? It's beyond just 9 to 5. We're going to have some of us that will rise to become directors. We have them in our midst already. They're going to be VPs, they're going to be MDs, they're going to be... But we can build other legacies in other parts of the economy, which is entrepreneurship, And that's why, as immigrants, let us think beyond survival when we come around there. We can do more than survive. We can do more than survive. And so let's embrace entrepreneurship. And what does embracing entrepreneurship, what does it do for us? It helps to uplift us as a people. It helps to solidify our base in this new country that we call home now. We go around, I've seen people telling me stories of, I'm looking for how to get somebody to be my reference or to put on my resume, I've worked here, I've done, I can't go to a company owned by other ethnic nationalities. They mention the names, whether it is Indian, Asian. You know why? Because we have limited options. when it comes to our own, you know. So if we keep seeing ourselves beyond just trying to survive, and we try to set up businesses, we have the skills. I've said it to several people at several occasions before, that whoever will become here today, whether you're a politician, or whether you're a business person, whether you're a director or VP in any, these are things that we're born with from Nigeria. Fine, there are enabling environments in Canada, there are things that allow you to flourish in Canada, but you must have had this thing inside of you before coming here. So you're not going to allow it to die here. You're not going to allow surviving, just the mode of wanting to survive, to kill or to limit where God wants you to go to. So that's why when we go beyond surviving, when we go into entrepreneurship, we're able to build our community. We're able to have businesses that our friends and families. Look at Great Madlock Bakery today. Directly, we have employees in excess of 150 people across Canada, you know. If we sell our products in over 600 supermarkets, and again, I didn't mention over 400 African Caribbean supermarkets across Canada. So we're talking about over 1,000 stores across Canada. You can see the number of lives that just one business have touched. So imagine several businesses by our community, by our people. That is how we build our community. Then there's no environment, there's no society that will not understand the importance of businesses. That's when the political power will start looking for you. We have politicians amongst us here today. They start looking for you because they need the support of businesses, you know. And that's how we now go beyond even setting up businesses to beyond having economic power, to having political power. So that when our children, in the next 10, 15 years, 20 years, they can sit down comfortably and we will see our kind, our type, wherever we go to. And we can be at par with other ethnic nationalities in this part of the world. Yeah. And of course, that is building legacies. So we're building lasting legacies. We're not just building it for ourselves now, just because we want to survive, but we're building it for our children. So that when next my son goes for an interview in a bank, whether it's Scotia Bank, TD Bank, any bank that they go to, you know, and they're sitting down there, they're seeing their like interviewing them, and not another person interviewing. There's nothing wrong with being interviewed by someone else, but the more we are, the merrier, the better it is for us. You know. So, okay, immigrants' journey. Yeah, I said that before. Leaving our country, coming there is a bold step. It's a bold step. It's not easy. We're living the comforts. And if I ask everybody here, we have different stories of what we're doing back home in Nigeria. For me, my last role in Nigeria was regional sales manager of one of the biggest telecoms, you know. And I was managing about 8 states. But I came here, I said it. I was working in the warehouse. I was asked to sweep. And I swept. I got angry. I said, no, I'm not coming to sweep again. I'll go back home and sit down. I've had interviews before then. So I was so sure I was going to get a job, you know. So don't just leave the job. No. Yeah, don't just leave. Don't just leave. I've gone for interviews. I was sure I was going to get the job, but I didn't know when. But I still got tired of sweeping. No, I'm not going to sweep again. I will go and... I wasn't employed to sweep anyway. It was a warehouse job, but there was nothing to be done. The machine broke down. It's okay, let's take care of... sweep. No, I'm not sweeping. You know. So, then the entrepreneurship is not just business, it's a mindset. A tool for reclaiming agencies and... Okay, reclaiming agency, I want to explain that, you know. Reclaiming agency means to me that you want to go beyond relying on something. You want to go beyond believing what has been said to you. You want to go beyond the status quo. You want to be in charge of what you become in your life. You want to be in charge of your own future. Atelewe ni kintonija is a Yoruba saying. It means you're taking ownership of your life. You're not just going to allow somebody to move you around. You're not going to allow the society, the environment to tell you that you are an immigrant, this is your job. When I was setting up the bakery, there was a time that one of the guys that came to do some installation for us was asking me then, how long have you been in Canada? And I said 2 years, because that was 2018. We moved in 2016. He said, really? You should still be doing Uber, and you're setting up a business. No, you're made, no. And that is what is expected, in quote, of immigrants, that you come in. You can't afford to settle into that. It's going to hold you down. You know, there's so many, we're not all going to be the same thing. We're going to have different roles to play in the society. But do what you know. I'm trying to use the best word. They say passion. I don't have passion for bread. I've said it before. I don't have passion for bread. My passion is to make money. My passion is to provide for my family. So whoever will give it to me legitimately is what I'm going to do. So you have to find your own. You know. And it could be anything. It could be in the health sector. It could be everywhere. But don't just settle into that pot that they've provided for immigrants. There was a time that they assume that once you come in from Canada, it is all this job that is reserved for us. No. We have people that have risen to the top of their career here. And they don't have 2 eggs. That's what they used to tell me when I was in school. When I get home that day, and tell my father, my report card thought, oh, the person that came first, they asked 2 eggs. I said, no, sir. So you have to do better. Despite not having, so whatever we think we have today, we're not there. We're nowhere yet. We are not going to rest because we're late already. We're late already. But they say when you wake up is your morning. So you can't afford to now say because you woke up late, you're going to just settle into. No, we have to keep striving. We have to keep pushing. You know, and the beauty of being an immigrant is the country itself. Canada recognizes the fact that we are bringing value. You are coming with something special. You are coming with another way of doing things that they are not used to, that you are bringing. So it's an advantage to be an immigrant. And it's been, moving around, migrating has been on for so many years. It's been in the Bible. I'm an ardent watcher of Animal Planet, not Joe Wale. So I love the fact that animals move. I was watching something recently that if you release how the Americans use pigeons to spy on the Russia, you know, how pigeons have that sense of when they fly away, they will always, thousands of miles, they will always come back. They're not going to get lost. So migration has been on forever, and it's not going to stop. So there's nothing bad in, well, they gave it a word, japa. To me, I don't like the word japa. I think it's a bit derogatory, but it's okay. It's our society. But the fact is, we will continue to move. After this set of people that move to Canada, more will come. Some of our children, in fact, children that are unborn, they will still move. It might be now, maybe they'll be moving back to Nigeria when Nigeria gets better, you know. It might be the other way around, but people will still move across the world, you know. So there's nothing wrong being an immigrant, but what do you make out of you living the comfort of your country to a new country? That's what matters. That's what separates you from those that will move just for moving, and they can't go back home, you know. And there's something the Nigerian government is trying to preach. Even after you have moved and you're successful, always give back. And that's why we must not forget our roots, so that we're going back to that roots. We need to keep watering that root so that we can continue to grow higher. You know, that is very important. It's something that I always tell people. I've seen people that will tell you, I've never been back in Nigeria for 8 years. I say, why? Oh, my parents are here. Oh, okay. Your siblings, they are all here. Okay. But something will happen one day, they want to go back. They say it's not safe. I've told people, don't let them tell you that somewhere is not safe. I think it's a strategy to keep you here. It's a strategy for you not to go back home. Me, I will always go back to Nigeria. Last year I went 4 times. 2 years ago I went 4 times. This year I've gone twice. I'm still going to go. Nobody is going to scare me away from my country. And once I get home, I'll pick my car, I'll drive to Jebu, I'll drive to Abeokuta. But my mom is late. I probably won't be going to Abeokuta that much again. She used to live there, So just to let us know that our route is important. We can't afford to forget our route or to move away from our route. Okay. That's another way of telling you. Let's move. Community and mentorship. Yes. So if God have answered our prayers by directing us to where we to the right place, okay, this is where I want you to go, and you now have it. You're not just going to see yourself as an island. You're not just going to see me, my family alone. It is God has given you whatever you have for a reason, and it's to uplift others. It's to help people. It's to help your community, so that at the end of the day, someone came to me recently. He was setting up a new business. He said in there my advice. I gave him everything in there to do, and blah, blah, blah. He said, I now told him, I said, I'm selfishly happy that you're setting up a business, and my prayer is to be successful. He said, why? He said, I said, why? Why wouldn't I wish you well? Because I'm even interested in not being the only person, not being the only business that Nigerians will come to for events, come and sponsor our event, come and sponsor. Now I can now say, go and meet Richard. He has a successful business too. And the beauty of it is that is how we build a very strong community. When everybody is rising, whether it's in the business world, in politics, I want to be able to call a Nigerian politician. I don't know why they, I've gone that part, but there was a time my what's it called, citizenship was delayed for a long time. I had to go and meet another MP that's not a Nigerian. I don't know what is delaying my citizenship. They refused to invite me for test. And he gave me a letter I sent to them, and I was called. I would have loved to meet a Nigerian MP. So one day we're going to have our own MP that will be from Nigeria. We have them in the making already, So same with the business world, same in the in corporate world. We should have people, we should grow, we should help our community, we should spread the goodness of God. Don't just keep it to yourself alone, so that all of us can rise, Serving others solidifies our place in the community, and we can only rise even when we rise by lifting others. I heard that for the first time from David. Thank you. That's to tell you can learn from anywhere, I heard it from Davido, that we rise by lifting others. Not that I don't know that when you help people, you're helping yourself. So when I talk to people about business mentoring, when I talk to people about how to grow their business, there was a lady I was talking to recently. She's from Brazil. And she said she set up a business, and it was through this York University mentorship program, that she started a bakery, and she was trying to get it into a big supermarket. She's been lucky. She got it into a big supermarket already, but it's not moving. And they're threatening that they're going to ask her to move it off the shelf. For me, I just look at it. I said, well, I'm going to tell you my strategy. Whether it will work for you, you have to decide. That when we set up our own business, we didn't just jump to, because the way we were taught in my part of the world, you have to crawl and walk and run and jump, and you can fly. And, I said, have you tried, is it that there's no Brazilian network or supermarkets or other grocery stores that cater for your ethnic nationality? He said, there are a couple of them. Do you have your product there? He said, no. I said, okay, let me teach you one thing from what I did. When we started, despite knowing fully that we're not going to settle there, but we decided to start from the Nigerian and Caribbean business. In fact, it was actually Nigerian, not Caribbean. It was later that we added Caribbean to the list, That's where we started from. So the first store we went to was No Frills. So it was easy for us to redirect our customers to no frills. Make use of social media. It's good. It's meant for us. We went on Instagram. We went on Facebook. We posted it there that go to No Frills. It might be closer to you than an African store, although some African store didn't like it. I said, well, I have to sell my bread, And because if a big supermarket gives you an opportunity to put products on the shelf and it's not moving, they're going to ask you to come and take it. So I had to help my own business by redirecting traffic to those stores. And that's how we started. And no business will see your product flying off their shelf and they'll tell you to come and not to come again. No, they won't do that. So I told that lady, I think 4 or 5 weeks after, she came back to me. She said, that thing worked like magic. I took it to all of the Brazilian stores. I went to our church. I went to our meetings. I told them. They started buying it. Then I now told them, you can get it in, I think she sells it in Sobeys or thereabouts. You can also get it. And that's how they now keep increasing the order, So we can't overemphasize the importance of trying to help others. So if you know there's something you need to grow, whether you're a business person, whether you're a you want to become a politician, you're just learning, whether you're in the corporate world, you need someone to carry your hand, you have to seek for help. Talk to people. I still talk to people. Councillor, you know my friend, Ezekiel. Anytime I run into any business issues, like when it comes to marketing or sales, we work together in the sales environment. He rose above me, well above me in that environment. I'll call him. Please, how do I deal with this? This is what is happening. Even me, that other businesses are coming to, I still go to. I have mentors. I have consultants. Let's take advantage. Don't let us keep everything. As in, hoping that you have the best. But apparently you need help. We always need help, no matter what we have. And you never know where that help is coming, what's going to come from. Now, that lady, that Brazilian lady, she has a special product that she sells. I had to ask her, how do you, because we have another product that we introduced to, and I've been struggling my head with how do we get it out into supermarket. And I asked her, how do you package it? And she just gave me, I said, send me a clip. He didn't send me the video. But she told me, she gave me enough information already. And I went on YouTube, and I said, wow, thank you. So if I have not tried to help her, how will I get that information? So that is how helping others, we rise by helping others, So we can't, then we go to the next slide. Who is there? Who is doing it? So leaving a legacy, and I think I've gotten to this part already before. So the only way is when you have achieved everything, when you have everything you're looking for, you're not just going to disappear. You want to leave a legacy. You want people coming from behind to see that you've done something and they can rely on where you have gone through, what I've done today. I don't want anybody. I have 7 franchise locations across Canada. I know some of the things I suffered. I don't want them to do it. There is a particular equipment that we had to buy almost 4 times before we could get the right one. And the idea is not to make them go through it. So that is living legacy. When people coming behind you, they now have opportunity to do it easy, easier than how you did it when you were going through it. I think next should be the last slide. Yes, your story is your power. Don't be afraid to tell your story. Let people learn from you. Your roots are your strength. Never forget where you came from. Don't, please. No matter what they say about where you came from, your root is your root. And a tree can only be as strong as the roots anyway. Your voice can shape destinies. Yes, voices have shaped destinies. Today, they still talk about Martin Luther King. I have a dream. This is someone that is long gone and dead. But we will always continue to talk about them. And you have quotes from so many other people that have come to this world and they've gone. It's time to rise, reach back, and leave a trail of light. That is, we rise by lifting others. Thank you, everyone.